Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to Tuesday. Indeed, it is Technique Tuesday. It is January the 6th, and that's a pretty important day around here. So, for those of you in the know, today is the day that our new products are released. And I thought because of that, it made sense to play with some of those new products, don't you think? So, who's ready to play with new products today? Hands up, thumbs up in the comments if you are. I'm going to have a very quick look over there and say hi to a few folk. I see Monique was on her way to bed. She said it's 4 o'clock in the morning over there. Yeah, a little bit early, isn't it? Sorry. I think my evening videos suit you better, Monique, when you watch this replay. And then we've got Holly here. Hi, Holly. Lorraine, hello, hello. Roz, hello, Roz. Welcome back. How are you feeling? You doing better? I hope so. I'd love to hear how you're progressing. Janine, hello. I got your beautiful card yesterday. Thank you so much. I have to apologize, make a public apology. There was a lot of people that sent me cards and I ran out of time to get back to all the cards. So I am so sorry. Please know that they were very much appreciated. And obviously, I can't go through and name everybody, but I just want to say thank you so much for thinking of me. And just because I didn't send out cards to everybody this year doesn't mean I didn't think about you and appreciate what you sent to me. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. Barbara's here. Let's see who else. We have lots of good friends here today. Hey, Cherie. Hello, Diana from Oregon. Beautiful part of the world you live in. Hey, Joe. Nice to see you. Happy New Year to you too. All right. I can see there's no way I'm going to get through all the comments, and I'm so sorry if I haven't mentioned your name. But hello, hello. I do go through and read all the comments. Usually after the event, I do miss quite a lot while I'm live. And if you ever ask me something, I find that if I miss the comment, then somebody or several people will remind me in the comments that there's a question waiting to be answered. So excuse me. So please know that I will try and answer any questions you might have. And you might have some today because, like I said, we have all new stuff today. And if you have any questions at all about anything, I will just quickly put up the banner. I thought it was actually already up, but it's not. And that is this one to remind me to say, because I often forget to say, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love you to do that because when people subscribe to my YouTube channel, it helps me get seen by more and new people. So, and that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to meet as many people as I can here in the internet world so that so they find out about all these beautiful, fabulous paper crafting techniques and ideas. All right, so today being Technique Tuesday, we are going to do a little bit of technique, but I thought because it's a new catalogue day, we would focus on a particular suite. And does anyone want to guess which suite I've picked? Because it's actually my favourite. I've got two that I really like, one that's in the catalogue and one that's an online exclusive. Well, I've got more than that I really like, but those two stand out to me. And the one that's in the catalogue is the one I'm going to focus on today. Anyone want to guess what it is? What do you think it is? Let's switch over to the desk because guess what? I'm so relieved, I'm allowed to show you the inside of the catalogue now, which I'm not allowed to do until it gets released. So now I can. That's very exciting. All bets are off. I'm able to show you all the stuff. No one. Oh, you got the stitches out today, Roz. That's great. Are you feeling a lot better? I hope so. Yes, you guessed it was one of those, Sheila. It is one of those. Holly's got it right. That's exactly right. Nature's Walk is the one. We can go through this whole catalogue another time if you would like, but I'm probably just going to pick and choose. We're looking at pages 38 and 39, and there's a couple of reasons why I love this particular suite. And the technique that we're working on today, I'm calling this video, and I will retitle it. I don't think I've changed the title yet, but it'll say Creating Texture with the Nature's Walk Suite. Okay, so that's what we're all about today. We're about lots and lots of texture, and I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can achieve that texture. Such a beautiful suite. I think this is the one that I'm not going to say it's going to sell out, but if it did, it wouldn't surprise me. Okay. Because people just have looked at this and gone, oh, that's beautiful. The paper in particular. There is also, or let me grab it, 'cause it's over on my other desk. There is also, for those of you who like to scrapbook, there is a scrapbooking kit that uses these as well. It's called Exploring Nature. And I'm pretty sure I'm doing this one for Scrapbooking Spotlight next month, the February Scrapbooking Spotlight. So my Scrapbooking Spotlight video is always the first Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m., the same time as this one, but the first Wednesday of the month. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh my gosh. The first Wednesday of the month, but it's not this time. It's 12 noon. So it's a couple of 2 hours earlier than this one. Sorry, I hope I didn't confuse anybody yet. You ordered that today. Do you mean the Nature's Walk Suite or do you mean the scrapbooking set, Janine? Which one? Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, we can't get through these things without pain medication, and you should absolutely. I don't know why some people seem to think that, if you there's some sort of medal that you get that if you can do things without having to take meds, forget that. If you need meds, you need meds, and you should not put up with stuff that you don't have to put up with because you don't want to have the medication. I have heard people who do that. Like there's some sort of badge of honor for putting up with the pain. No, absolutely not. Yes. Yes. Nature's Walk, Janine. It's beautiful. It's just so gorgeous. You've used nearly all of it, Lorraine. You'll have to order more. Yes, you will. You will. All right. So I want to show you even the samples, and let me bring them up a little higher. Even the samples in here are full of texture. Okay, the paper itself is just texture overload almost. Okay, then here they've used a textural background stamp, which I'll show you in a moment, and some ripping and some the texture also created by some crumpling of the two-tone cardstock there. Then they've also done some layering here with both stamps and dies. Same again here. We've got some dies in the background here. Also the Nature's Hues. We'll talk about this in a moment. That the Natural Hues paper is like handmade paper with that really strong, thick texture to that as well. Okay. And then you've also got, other pieces in here that will lend themselves to texture. So let's just talk about some different ways to create texture. And let's start with the bundle. Okay, this is the bundle. And the stamps are absolutely beautiful. Okay, I really, really love this big stamp. But you know what my favorite stamp in here is, don't you? It's actually not the leaves, even though I love those. It's this thing here. All right, let me show you a sample. This is one I made a few weeks ago, and I used that little grungy stamp in the background there. And how good does it look? It creates that beautiful textured look. And then lots of other textury elements in here. I mean, these are called textured notes. Even those have texture around the outside. You've got your script, the script font, the script to DSP here, which gives it a lovely texture. This is part of this paper here. Okay. There's just so much texture to this. So it is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Ina, you are absolutely right. It is just beautiful. Cherie's saying it's the side effects from the meds that are the problem. Yeah. I'm not someone who is gung ho about medication, but I also don't believe in putting up with pain that you shouldn't have to put up with. So, but yeah, we know what we're saying. The heady feeling of pain meds. Yeah. Yeah. You've got to look after yourself and make the right choices for you, right? All right, so even the back here, can you see it's kind of like a scratchy kind of grid? That's got texture too. So front and back of these papers all have this textury kind of a look to them. A little bit grungy, which I kind of like. All right, with that, lots of texture there. And on the back of that one, more texture. So the paper sets you up to make textured backgrounds even before you do anything else. All right. Did we look at that one? I like this one, Pretty Peacock. Look at that texture. It's gorgeous. And on the back, we've got like a textured grid, a little bit grungy again. Now, here's something I want to tell you about this suite. Okay. Whenever there's a suite in the catalogue, I'll just put these aside for a second. Whenever there's a suite in the catalogue, it gives you a rough idea of the colors. And you can see here it says Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Night of Navy, and Pecan Pie. Just understand that that is not necessarily, unless it's unusual, it's usually not all the colors that are in the suite. So if you turn over to the back of the paper, it gives you all the colors. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are only 6 here. So there are double the number of colors in this pack than you actually see listed on the paper page, on the pack page. So just bear that in mind. There are a lot of colours to this suite, but it's kind of a combination of blues, greens, and neutrals. And I think that that's gorgeous. Oh, so they upset your stomach, Janine. That's no good at all. Oh, goodness me. Everyone's saying the same thing, that you all got over, you're reluctant to take them because of being over medicated. Yeah, I get that. Right. All right. So that's the paper. Oh, I don't think I showed you. I think I missed. Oh, I did miss a couple. This one, which is kind of like I know it looks like it's kind of swirly, isn't it? Like they've swirled around with a brush or something like that. And then on the back of that one, very dark Secret Sea kind of texture. And there's one more. Where is it? This one. So this is your garden green, like swirls again with a brush, like they put a brush down and swished it around. And then this one here is mossy meadow and a bit of old olive in there as well. So super, super nice. Yes, I think what I'm saying and what you're saying is exactly the same thing. You don't like medication, but there is a time for it. Agreed. Agreed. Yes. Got a second Christmas card coloured for next year, of course. Yeah, it's a little bit late to send them out now, Janine. Little bit, but yeah, they'll be ready for next year. All right, so we did do this one. I did on my own. This one I did on a video a couple of weeks ago, and so you can see I've kind of layered up a few things. I did some stamping on the grid background here, and then I added some script, and we've got that gorgeous green and blue paper in the background, and then we've added some other elements also in this suite. Okay, we've got these fabulous bronze, they're called bronze pentagons or faux bronze pentagons. Okay, and you can see there's big ones and small ones in there. Those are really nice. And this beautiful ribbon, which is called Secret Sea Bordered Open Weave Ribbon. It's almost like an organza with an edge. It's really pretty. Okay, ties really, really nicely. And then the last thing that's part of this is the natural hues paper. All right, so I do want to quickly show you this. There are 3 sheets. I've already chopped it up a little bit because I've been playing with them. But you've got like this one to me looks almost like oatmeal kind of color. And I don't know what you would call them because they're not Stampin' Up colors, but they're like natural shades. And if you look at them closely, this one might show best. Can you see the texture? So it's like thick, soft handmade paper. Okay. Now, if this embosses beautifully, I had a bit of a go with it this morning to double check how that works. And let me see if I can find. Okay, so I used the Stone and Vine. Has anyone seen the Stone and Vine text embossing folder? It's also in the catalogue. I'm just going to pull it in for you. It's this one here, not part of this suite, okay, but I do want to show it to you just because it is one of the most textured embossing folders I've ever seen. All right, and it's got like vine leaves and like a stone background. That's kind of what it's meant to be, hence the name, Stone and Vine. And I did actually use it. This is the back of it on that natural hues paper. Okay, and so you can see here I've used a blending brush over the corners just to see what that would look like. And it's very textured. Okay, so you ordered it today, Sheila. There you go. It's really beautiful. Hey, Bev, nice to see you. So, yeah, it is fabulous, this folder. And it's just it's a 3D folder, but it is like the standard size folder, not the 6x6 ones. And absolutely does a beautiful job if you're looking for a standalone embossing folder that will give you a lot of texture. That's probably the one for you. It's up near the back of the catalogue. Let me just find it for you here. Page 69. It's here, Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. Okay. So they've shown a couple of examples of things they've done with it there, and it just gives you this beautiful, deep embossed look. I did also do it just on basic white to see what that would look like. So that was just on in basic white. And I went over it with a Mossy Meadow blending brush, which brought out the leaves a little bit more. And then here I did it on vellum. Of course I did. Now it's so thick that on the vellum, it actually cut through in a couple of spots, but it doesn't look bad. It actually looks like it's part of the design of this, but just bear in mind, if you're using it on thinner materials, it may cut through because of the depth of the embossing. But I actually didn't mind it. I actually thought it still looked pretty good. So that's how it would look. That's vellum on white, but you could do vellum on another color. You could do vellum on, I don't know. Let's do vellum on Old Olive, for example, and just show you what that would look like. All right, so it's really nice. So just wanted to give you a little bit of an alternative of an alternate product that you could use. And this is $17.50 here in Australia. So that's something you could add on to an order if you wanted something that's going to give you a bit more texture. It's not part of a suite. That's okay, Leslie. I know. We're still in that not sure what day it is. You love that embossing folder. Me too. It really does look amazing. And yeah, it's something. It's a bit different to stuff we've had before, right? All right. So I just wanted to show you how that paper embosses. It looks really lovely, and I'm actually going to go ahead, and I don't even know what I'm making yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do a. Let's pick out. I'm thinking, what texture would I like to have? I want to do something I haven't done yet. Maybe this one. This might be nice. And also, some of the samples they've used here, like I told you about the two-tone paper, but here, can you see they've used the dye, that textured dye in the background there to add, oh, you can't see it very well because I'm not holding it in the right place, but they've done that textured background on that natural hues paper. And I thought I could do that. I have already cut this out just to save us some time. So this is the medium of the textured hues papers, the one that you saw that I had cut up already, that one here at the back. And I'm thinking that that might really go well. We'll see. Let's see what we can do with this. We could, I think we're going to do a mix of things. Oh, something else that we could do with this, and it looks amazing, I'm sure. I've got a really good idea in my head, is like a collage, which is collage is kind of like texture as well, but like the next step up in texture. So I will do a collage technique Tuesday coming up soon. I'm not sure exactly when, but maybe in the coming weeks. So if anyone's interested in seeing some collage style designs, then I'd love to do that with you because that's something that I really enjoy doing. All right, so let's start by looking at our dies. I'm just going to come back in here because they're underneath everything now that I've been throwing things around. And these are the ones I'm talking about that give you kind of like, they punch a piece out to give you a bit of texture. So we've also got this one that's like a wooden texture there. That's nice too. Yeah, you think so, Sheila? Yeah, I like a little bit of collage, and it's something I haven't played around with nearly as much as I would like to. So I've already cut this cut out, but I'm thinking it would be fun to maybe have some little dots going down the side. And this is the one that does the like the cross hatch design, like a textured cross hatch design. So let's do that as well. And it doesn't have to be straight. We can have it on an angle like the one that's in the book. And I'm going to run this through and we're just going to see how that looks. So I'm just running it through my cut and emboss machine, if you're wondering where I am. Now, what I think to say it too, if you haven't got a lot of dies in your collection and you're wondering which dies to get first, because a lot of people do sometimes say that to me, which one should I get first? Everyone knows which ones are my favorite. It's the Stylish Shapes dies, but followed very closely by these textured notes. Okay, I think the textured notes are amazing. And there is just so much you can do with them. So I'm going to line this up and do it a couple of times. I just want to create a textured look on this rectangle eye shape. So yeah, if you're not sure which dies to get first, they are the ones I would suggest. Textured notes, because you'll use them all the time, and the stylus shapes. All right, nearly done. Now, you might have noticed I did some blending. All right, so I've done a couple of like textury kind of bits on here. This one was crooked, but it doesn't matter. Look, wonky, there I go again. I'm embracing the wonky. What did we say the other night? We have to embrace the wonk. I think that was that yesterday? Might have been, I can't remember. Or maybe it was Friday night. All right, so I've got some, can you see I've got some texture going on here now that's just going to poke out from behind whatever other pieces I decide to add. Let me see how wide this is. This is 9.5. So that's a good size. And let me grab my trimmer. This way. And I'm going to have it 14.3, which is the right size for a card front piece. And I haven't even decided where I want to put that or anything else, but you know, let's not worry about that right now. Now we're going to probably, I haven't decided whether I want to cut out the leaf and add it. That might be nice. We've also, I love this leaf. I think this is such a fantastic leaf and I've used it a whole bunch of times. You know, like that's this leaf here, poking out top and bottom, and same leaf, I just cut a little bit off it on this one. I just think they look really good. I'm actually thinking maybe this time I will stamp on my paper and then cut out my leaf, and let's see how that looks. Oh, it was Friday, was Embrace the Wonk. I should rename the video Embrace the Wonk. I think only people who were there would get it, would understand what I was on about. All right, so maybe for this one, now we have white here, so we could use a white card base. So should I be stamping this on white? Maybe. I'm going to grab a scrap here. Deciding what color I want to do. Do I want to do it in green, like a mossy meadow, or do I want to do it? Yeah, maybe. Let's try that. Let's try this. There you go. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Tanya. Oh, hey, Desley. Nice to see you again. All right, let me grab these. I really think I am the luckiest demonstrator in the world. I really think I am, because I have the most wonderful group of people who watch my videos, and I have the most wonderful team as well. Both of those things, I think I'm just so lucky. Very, very blessed to have you guys be part of what I do. And it makes me very happy. Let's see. Let's try not to waste too much space. And then this one perfectly cuts out this. Doesn't that look good? So I'm going to run that through my cut and emboss machine as well. And we're going to cut that and add it to our card. And I'm not done yet with the background either, but I just thought I would start to get the elements together, and then I'll know more about what I want to add to the card. Right. Here it's cut out. Much easier than, isn't that easier than fussy cutting? It really is. All right. So I do really like this. I'm kind of thinking, what colors will I go? I think cloud cover. Lost Lagoon would look good too. but I think cloud cover. And I'm going to use this yummy textury stamp here. So basically, when you start thinking about texture, just play and then add and add and add. And there is a point that you think, here's my tip. There's a point where you think, is that enough or do I need to add more? That's usually when you should stop. Because there's nothing worse than going too far and going, oh, gee, now I've wrecked it. Now, the cloud cover on here almost has a little bit of a greeny tone to it. Interesting. I feel like that's probably enough of that. And this is going to end up on here, but I do want to have another piece underneath. I mean, even just adding this little bit of, that little bit of texture like that underneath just gives it such an interesting look. And every time you do this, it's going to turn out different, right? Well, thanks for that, Janine. That's good information. Oh, Sheila, you kind of honorary US, I mean Australian, kind of, do you think? All right, so I have got some vellum here, and I feel like that might be really nice to add behind here, like a circle or a something. I don't know. I'm having a think. Now, I could just add a punch if I wanted to, and that would look fine. But because we're adding texture, I think the stylish shapes are going to be better because they've got that little bit of texture of the stitching around the edges, right? So if I wanted to add, I'm deciding maybe, let's see what size would look really good. Yeah, about this size. That's not the biggest one, but I feel like that's going to be big enough. And I'm going to run that through. So when you're playing with texture, anything that adds texture is a good thing. And think of it as layering texture over one over another. All right, can you see that little bit there? That's kind of nice. And then I feel like that would look good. So we're adding little bits of texture here and there. Now we still need to add, I actually think, rather than putting it in the middle, I like it on one side like this. And I am going to grab, I'm thinking which would be best. I'm thinking maybe a piece of cloud cover for the mat. Let's see how that would look. Going through my scraps, looking for the right size scrap or something close anyway. This one might be good. Yep, that's the right size. So this is going to go on here. Oh no, is that might not be the right length. It's a little bit short. All right, let me cut one then. So I'm going to go 10 by 14.3, which is my card front size. And then this piece is going to end up on here. Oh, this piece is too long. That's what the problem is. This piece should be 13.8. That's my problem. All right, that's better. All right, let me get those. Put that down in place. I did miss it, Lorraine, very much. And doesn't mean I can't use it. When something's retired or no longer available, it doesn't mean I can't use it, you know. But from a business point of view, if I'm being a business person and doing the right thing by my business, I do need to actually use things that people can buy. And there's nothing worse than saying to someone, you know, this is a fantastic product, and they say, hey, where do I get this? And I have to send them to Spotlight or Linkcraft or somewhere else, you know, so that is like not the ideal. Now I'm wondering what should go behind here. I feel like a bit of color behind here would be good. And I'm wondering if Old Olive would be good because that might brighten it all up a little bit. So let's try that. I've got some Old Olive here. And Old Olive is one of the colors that's in this. And I'm wondering, actually, I might do it. I'll do it on the back or the front. I think I'm going to do it on the back. Let's see if that makes much difference. I'm doing it on the back because when you use blending on vellum, sometimes it's difficult for things to stick to it. Now that is only light, but I can see it. I'm going to add a little bit more. Right, let's try that. Yep, there we go. How about that? So it's subtle, but it just gives it a little bit of a lift. All right, now this, I'm going to put some mini dimensionals behind some of these leaves to get it stuck on here. And this is what I mean. If I had put the color on the other side, on the front, then it would be hard for these to stick to it. I'm putting them in fairly much, not towards the outside bits. I'm doing all the like just the bits that are going to be on the circle. So let's get that. You used some of your rewards today, Susie. Well done. I find people get really excited when they can use some of their rewards because for those of you who don't know, on a Stampin' Up! Order, you get 10% of every order back in rewards to use on a future order, which is fantastic because it means that if you know, there's something that you want that maybe is not in your budget or something that, you know, you want to something a little bit more that you want to put it towards, you have that little bit of relief to actually put those things on. Now I'm going to try putting these on. I may have trouble. Well, let's see. Let's see if they stick okay. They might. Or I could just stick it straight on, you know, stick it down with glue dots or something like that. So let's try this though. Just throw the backs of the dimensionals anywhere because I'll get them later, right? Okay, and that's going to go slightly to the right and off the edge slightly like that. And then this piece, I'm going to just do some normal dimensionals behind this. Also adding dimensionals can also help you get a bit of texture going as well, rather than just putting things down flat. Putting one in the middle for support. And you've heard me say this before because no one likes to sag. All right. How are we doing? Is the texture kind of coming through? Are you getting to see that? And I'm going to do another one as well because we're only halfway through our time, and I'm going to show you a couple of other ways you can get some texture going. Right, so here we've used a combination of dyes. We've used a combination of the paper, the stamps to just add a nice little bit of texture. And I'm wondering, there is no label dies in here. You could choose really what you wanted to have with regards to a sentiment. I do have in the textured notes dies, this one's a bit big, but we also I probably, because I've got this in the natural hues paper, I would probably pick either white or a cloud cover, something light that's going to stamp on when it comes to a sentiment. So I'm going to use, let me see. This is what a really nice, this is another new set that's out today. Lovely arrangements. I love this. And look, that would create beautiful texture as well. That's like a big piece that cuts out like a lot of little flowers out of the background. Another great way to add texture, right? But I thought I might use maybe this one, which would be quite nice. and put it down, maybe down here. Or I could go with just a small one and we could just do, this would be a great masculine card, don't you think? We could do a thank you. It actually has to a great guy because I think, you know, they were thinking it could be a good masculine card as well. Maybe that one. That might be the go. And I'm getting that from the lovely arrangement dice because I just think that that's a nice label to go with that. So let me cut that out of white. And then we'll stamp it. And we could use any of the dark colours that we've just used. So Secret Sea might be a good choice because we have that in our paper. And I think either Secret Sea or the Mossy Meadow would look good. Secret Sea. Let's do Secret Sea. And I think I'll go with the thank you out of this Nature's Symphony set. Because it's a nice, simple little thank you. Oof. It's brand new, so it's wanting to stick everywhere. All right. Nice and simple. Do we like that? Now you could pop it on dimensionals or you could just put it flat. Because it's quite little, it's not going to make a lot of difference. The other thing I would do for this card is I would use some linen thread, like a knot or a bow or something like that, because I think that would really dress up the card. And linen thread is one of my go-to, another thing that I think is a must-have in your collection. I'm just going to put this here because that's where I want it to go. There we go. Yes, a minimum of $35 to qualify for a reward. That is correct. You are right, Leslie. And did anyone read my newsletter I send out tomorrow? If you don't get my newsletter, please get on the newsletter list. And this is how you do it. You go over to my blog and you'll find the sign up form for the blog, for the newsletter on my blog. So, that's my email address. Sorry, that one. Lookwhatimade.com.au. Okay. That's where you want to go because being on the newsletter list means you get to find out about things. Now, on my blog today and in the newsletter, I have put all the details of my new Product of the Month club, you guys. Did anyone see it? So I'm going to be doing a Product of the Month club where you get something special to help you use the Product of the Month every month. Okay, so whatever it is. So for January, I'm doing the January Product of the Month. And you know what? I can't find the hexagons. I literally, here they are, found them. Oh, found them, sorry. So yeah, that is something that I've started doing as of today, and I'm hoping it'll go well. Let me see, let's see how that goes. So we'll use a little pentagon there, another one up here. These are nice. I really like these. Also add some texture. I'm going to get that banner down so you don't have to look at it too long. And go back to comments. You read the newsletter? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you found that helpful, Leslie. That's good. Yeah, the mini dimensionals are out of stock at the moment. I saw that too. Oh, the black combo is too. I didn't know that. Okay, I'm learning too. All right. So the last thing that I would do, I mean, it's optional. You don't have to do this, would be grab some linen thread and tie it maybe down here and add that to the stem of the leaves because I feel like that would be really nice. And then I've got a basic white thick card base here, and I am just going to use my bone folder and flatten that down. And this side needs to be covered because there's a mark on it, so that's the side that we're going to use to cover. All right, so that's looking nice. Do we like it? What do you think, guys? Unfortunately, it is, Sheila, because it relies on people being able to order with me. And I'm so sorry. It's unfortunate, but I can't, I'm not allowed to sell product to other people overseas. The only thing I'm allowed to sell is like tutorials and things like that. And you're well familiar with that, Sheila. But yeah, I'm not able to sell product overseas, which means I'm a little bit limited. I'm just looking to see what I've done with my linen thread. Oh, I just thought we shouldn't be using linen thread. Guess what we should be using? We should be using this. Although I don't necessarily want to tie a bow if this is a card for a guy. So this is I've decided this is a masculine card. Do we think it's a good masculine card? But I can do a knot. That's a little bit less feminine and pop that there. So let's cut that here and here. And then we're going to use a glue dot and we're going to stick it right there on the stem. I usually shy away from bows on a masculine card. I mean, not that you have to, but that's normally what I would do. There we go. There you go. I used that ribbon because it's part of the suite. That looks quite good. I'm going to call that a finished card. Do we like it? There's a reasonable amount of texture, and I think it works really well. There's texture created by the paper that we've used, the natural hues paper, by the DSP, by the stamping itself, because there's a bit of natural texture in the stamping, by the grungy stamp behind, which adds texture, by the dies that add texture. And so there's a lot of different layers with texture here with this card. Yeah, so there you go. So there's the first card we're going to do. Let's tackle another one. Let's have a bit of fun. Now, I was inspired by the one that's in the catalogue. Let's have a quick look at that again. The one that showed, where is it? Oh my gosh. Seriously? I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. I can't find anything most of the time. And I know it was here because we had it before, but it's buried under a pile of stuff at this point. So I just went and got another one. All right. So this is the Nature's Walk Designer Series paper and sticker sheet. If you're wanting to do something with the stickers, this is an additional thing that you can get instead or as well as. And I've already got this kit, the scrapbooking kit that's called Exploring Nature. And I've just ordered this, Stay Wild and Free, and It's a Great Big World Out There. This is really lovely for scrapbooking, but you could add some of those things, like there's a Hello Sunshine. There's other things that you could add to cards. These would go nicely with cards as well. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful set. And it has lots of coordinating fun things that you can add to it. Now, I love this idea of cutting out the leaves from the textured paper and then using that die cut on a separate card. So you got one card with the background, the negative image, and one card with the positive image. And here they showed some different layers of texture with spritzing, which is another great way to, they actually show you pictured the spritzer and the stamp. And so you can stamp and spritz, and they've also used embossing, heat embossing, to do that little grungy stamp. So that's another way of adding some texture as well. Okay, so there's lots and lots of ways you can do that. But the one I wanted to look at was this. See this here? This is actually using, and I'm thinking maybe I'll go with a different color, but this is using a piece of two-tone paper. And the two-tone paper that really adds some texture because two-tone paper has a white core. So I pulled out some sheets before this video started. I pulled out some sheets of two-tone paper that I could use. I think the Early Espresso is too dark, and I think the Mossy Meadow is as well. But you'll notice that they are two-tone because they are darker on one side and lighter on the other. Can you see that? Dark, light. And the whole idea is that you can use both sides, but the middle core is white. Pecan pie. I'm thinking one of the lighter colours. So I've got crumb cake two-tone, I've got Lost Lagoon, and I've got cloud cover, crumb cake, and Lost Lagoon. I've got those three, and I'm thinking one of those would probably be a good one. What do we think? Pool party. Ooh, that would work too, but that's a bit brighter, and I feel like I want to stay a little bit more muted. So one of these three colours. Who wants to pick one? Crumb cake, cloud cover, or Lost Lagoon, which will be our background paper. Lost Lagoon, says Sheila. Okay, let's do it. That's this one. And once again, we can choose the dark or the light. I'm probably going to choose the light because I don't want to have a background that's too dark. And I want to have elements that anything I add to it is going to show up more. So it's going to show up more like if I stamp on it, then it's going to show up more on the light background. So let's have a play with this. And I haven't decided. I'm going to start with just a, I'm going to go 9 by 13.3, and we'll see how I may end up cutting this down, and I'm going to be ripping it anyway, so it's going to end up smaller. All right. Now, if when you're wanting to rip your paper, little tip for you, pull the side that you're ripping, pull it towards you. Okay. And that's going to give you the white edge facing towards you. Okay. So if I wanted to do that, now I've got that lovely white edge. And on the back, you don't have that. See that? And same if I want to do the same thing over here, I'm going to pull it towards me. And then I've got two lovely white edges. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp this before if we're going to crumple it, then I don't want to do the stamping once it's crumpled. I'd rather do the stamping first. And I've got this stamp set, this little stamp that we used before. I think maybe we'll start tone on tone. So I'm going to pull in some Lost Lagoon, and it will still stand out on here, but then we can maybe add a second layer. So I'm going to go ahead and do this a little bit. All right, so we've got some stamping on there. And then let's grab some Pretty Peacock, because that's a little bit darker, but still in this same kind of blue-green tone. So all right, and we've got some texture going on here. You wish that you could just buy single ones. I tell you what they have done that might help a bit, Desley, is that some of the new papers have more sheets. So less designs, but more sheets of those designs. So for example, the Lovely Blossoms paper that's just been released, that has, I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4 of each design. I think it's 4. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. And the Square Snippets is the same. It has more sheets of one design instead of fewer designs. Instead of fewer sheets of the design. So you get fewer designs, but you get more sheets of them. So you still get 12 in a pack, but that might be helpful. So you guys having a conversation there, which is lovely. That's awesome. All right, so I've got this, and I'm actually going to, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to crumple it up. Yes, the Gears bundle is fantastic for making textured cards, and I have got it, but I haven't used it yet. I thought I'd start with this one and not confuse the situation by using too many sweets in the first video after I went live today. So, all right. So now what we're going to do is this reminds me, when I think I've mentioned this before, when I was little, one of my favorite things was at Easter, you take the Easter egg wrappers, the foil off the Easter eggs, and then I used to flatten it out and get it as flat as I possibly could. This reminds me of that. So how wide is that? That's 9. All right, let's see. And then I'm thinking maybe a Pretty Peacock piece. Let me go into my scrap bucket, scrap drawer. And let's see if this is the right, this one needs to be cut down, but this will look really nice on here. So that's already good. Let's go 10. Card front size again, 10 by 14.3 for your A4 card front size. And I'm wondering whether I should have a little bit of, maybe, let's try this. Cut this one 1/2 centimetre smaller than the one I just used. All right, so I'm thinking that that might work really well on there with that bit of textured paper. What do we think? Do we like that? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this down. Oh, that looks nice too. Do we like that better? What do we think? Do we like the lighter side with the grid? Or do we like, no, I think I do like the darker side. I think I like that better. All right, I'm just going to stick it down. Yes, another bundle for masculine cards. Exactly, you guys. That is so true. So I'm just trying to get that. And now I'm going to put this down and I am going to, like I said, get it as flat as possible and stay close to the edges with this. And I'm going to pop this down here. So we've got some texture at the top there, some texture at the bottom. It just needs to, it doesn't need to be completely flat. It just needs to stay down. I'm just going to give it a moment to make some contact. There we go. All right. So now we have a few choices. Should I get the vellum out again and do a big circle? Because I could do that, or even a square or something else. I do like these colors. I think the colors work really well. And then I'm going to keep it deciding. Maybe we, this time, just to do something different, I could do the leaf again. It would look fantastic. But maybe this time I grab this leaf, which I just love. And I think that that could be really beautiful. And we can have that coming out of there, or maybe have it coming down. Because that's really beautiful, don't you think? No, says Cherie. Yes, it would be a nice mountainscape, right? All right, so I do really love this. Now, what would I cut it from? I've got a few choices. I can cut it from the textured paper, and that would be really interesting. Or I can do my trick that I've been doing with the other cards and cut it from the metallic foil, this stuff. This is the earthen toned foil that was in the last mini that I believe it's still available. I better double check. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just typing it in. Yes, it's still available. And it's $13.25 for 3 sheets. And I love it. It's one of my favorite things at the moment. Yes to the leaves. All right, so I'm going to do this, and I mean, we could use any color we like, but I'm thinking something to give a little bit of contrast. So let's do the earthen toned paper because it's so beautiful. And you can see I've been cutting out these leaves from the earthen toned paper before. See that? So I'm going to do it again because I can't help myself. It's too beautiful. Actually, I think if you haven't already got this particular foil paper and you like the Nature's Walk set, it is a really nice complementing item to get. All right. So I would, if, you know, because they go so nicely together, I highly recommend it. See how nice that is? Look at that. Isn't that lovely? I haven't used the, I've got the gears and textures, but I haven't used them yet. So I've got them. Haven't used them though. Experienced in what exactly? That is the interesting question, isn't it? So I'm going to add a few dimensionals behind here. And I'm thinking you could use minis or maxis, whichever way you preferred to go. I've got the minis here, so I'll just use them. So I'm going to put just behind some of the bigger leaves. And the whole thing's going to be on the card, so you don't need to worry about, having them stick out or anything like that. Just hide them behind there. Is that enough? Possibly. That might be enough. Let's see. Now, one of the, if ever you're wanting to make masculine cards, one of the ways to make cards look more masculine is to add texture. So masculine cards often need texture and maybe some metal elements, or I mean, color is important too, but I think texture is more important than some of those other things. Look at that. Isn't that nice? All right, so then that's going to go down there. And then I still have a piece to go down the bottom. And I'm thinking this time, let's use, we've got You Make Me Smile. I don't know if I'd send that to a guy. Would you? Do you think? I don't know. I know that leaf is fabulous, isn't it? Isn't it good? Look at it. So nice. Just love, love, love that. I just think it's beautiful. I'm going to add one more dimensional. This one is flopping around a little bit. I don't like that, so I'm going to put another dimensional behind that. There we go. That looks better. And you love the leaf dye too, Desley? Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And Holly said the same. Depends on the guy. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. Maybe I should just do it for this time. And do I want to do it in white, or do I want to do it in another color? Probably in white, I think. So I'm just using, this is B block, which is our smallest one currently. And I'm going to use, I'm thinking on here, I could use Pretty Peacock, or once again, Secret Sea would look good, okay, with this. So maybe I'll go Secret Sea again. I keep coming back to Secret Sea. I think it's such a great neutral. And it's a color that I use it all the time. So if you're looking for what color to get next, that's probably my pick at the moment. I just think it's lovely. All right, let's pop that right there. Did I give myself enough space to work with? Let's see. That's probably too big. Let's try the next one down. This one is just right, that size there. All right, so that's the third smallest in the Stitch Shapes dies. Now, one of the things I'll be doing in the Product of the Month Club, for those of you who are taking part, is I will do a special video just for those of you who are in the club. And how do you get to be in the club? You purchase the Product of the Month through my account. That's how you get to be in it. Okay, so and of course I will still do all of these videos like the one that you're watching right now, these free ones that I do on my channel, and I'll still be doing those, so that doesn't change. All right. And what do we think? Do we like this? I feel like it needs, once again, maybe a bit of string or something like that. I could do the ribbon again. I could, especially since I've got the secret C down here. But once again, if I don't want to tie a bow, you could tie a bow. I'm going to tie a bow this time. And I'll show you how easy this is to tie. It's a really lovely ribbon to tie. Look at that. I'm going to make it small. Good bows need to be fiddled around with. Don't let anyone tell you you can do it perfect every time. They need a bit of fiddling. Huh, did I mess up? I messed up that. Look, I've got a pull in it. So I'm just going to, in the interest of this video, I'm just going to chop that off and I'll come back and use that piece later maybe. I wonder if I can do it with this little bit. Probably making it life hard for myself now. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take that risk on a live video. You like the card? Good. Thank you. They're both completely different, and that's something else I love about this suite is that every card you haven't got a whole lot of cards that all end up looking the same. They're all different because all the elements are quite unique from each other. Of course, this time I won't have a ribbon that works well for me. Seriously? Come on. Linda, you've tied a million bows. The pressure's on now, you guys. All right. Let's see how we go here. What's the weather like where you guys are today? It's gotten real humid and stuffy here all of a sudden. Not sure where that came from. It was nice earlier, but all of a sudden I'm really hot and need a cold drink or an icy pole or something. And the Americans are all going, oh, what? An icy pole? What's that? It's a, what do you call an icy pole in the US? What do people call them? Okay, I'm going to try popping that on with a glue dot. Do you want me to put that up on the screen? That's a cool idea, Cherie. I love that idea. I've been actually thinking about doing product of the month kind of challenges like that in my VIP group as well, because I thought that might be fun. So I'm putting it up on the screen. If anyone's looking for the Facebook group, there it is. Okay, that's where you go. I know about the ribbon, actually. I think maybe the ribbon isn't right after all that. Do we like it better without? And I think maybe some linen thread up there would be better. A white card base, I believe, as in a white, basic white, thick card base. Quickly go back and have a look at comments again. No ribbon. Popsicle, ice pop, yes. Yeah, that's what we call an icy pole. I saw a video the other day where someone was talking about that and someone was saying how weird is it that Australians call them icy poles. I'm like, I didn't know that was weird until someone just told me. I didn't know that wasn't a thing somewhere else. Right. Also, if you wanted to, you could, like now I put that on here. I think that white card base is too stark. I don't think that's right. Instead, we could do a crumb cake base. Nope. Ah, there we go. Cloud cover base. Let's try that. What do you think? Do we like the cloud cover base? And I just literally pulled my bone folder out, used it. Here it is. I'm very versed in the art of losing things right in front of me almost as soon as I use them. I'm very good at that. It's interesting, isn't it? Paddle pops, yes, because paddle pop is also a type of ice cream. I did like myself a paddle pot when I was little. Always loved them. All right. And, the last thing I think it needs some more, wherever they are. Here they are, of these, the pentagons again, because I think that would be really nice with these. Let's use them. I'm going to use a couple little guys up the top here. Like that. I'm not sure if that is the right place for this one. It might be better over here. But I'm going to leave it like that right now. Do we have a favorite? Which one do you like the best? I just love this suite. I just think there's so many possibilities and you can have so much fun just creating with it. And I went a bit over time today. Yes, the ink blending, that's a good idea because it's a bit stark. I agree. Probably Lost Lagoon would be good for that. Do I have a Lost Lagoon? I have a Lost Lagoon handy. So let's add that very, very quickly. And then I'm going to call it a day and say this is, and I probably should have done this before I added the circle, but let me just. We'll still get it to work. I'm just going softly so I don't put the color everywhere. That does look better. Just that little bit of blending. And guess what? I'm going to come back in with this stamp and I'm going to add a tiny bit of this. I'm going to use a piece of paper underneath, a scrap piece. Let me grab a scrap. Here we go, just a bit of printer paper. And put that under here. There we go. We added some to that. And actually, I think that looks better. What do you think? Do we like that? And that adds texture too. So there we go. So do we have a favorite? What do people think? It is. Thank you, Cherie. Love your French. Too hard to decide? They're completely different, aren't they? You like the first card, Leslie, but you had trouble choosing. Susie likes the last one. Laurie said the last one. So different people think different things. Maggie said the first, both, but the second one has her heart. Totally different, but both very, very, very textured. So I would love you guys to have a play with this suite. If you haven't already got it, it's a great time to add it to your cart because it also, the price of this suite also entitles you to the product of the month. And if I can't show you the product of the month yet, but it's a fantastic greeting set called Fabulous Sayings. And you can find it on the Stampin' Up website. I've also posted it on my VIP group. There's a few places that you'll find it. And I think it's on my, just thinking, yeah, it's on my blog page as well. Okay, so there we go. Let me pull that banner down after leaving it up way too long. So this is the blog address. No, it isn't. Oh, gosh. This is the blog address, lookwatimade.com.au. Okay, and that is the one that you go to go shopping, to sign up for the newsletter, and you can be anywhere in the world for the newsletter. That's not just for Australian people. Okay, that's for anyone at all. All right, come back to me. Let's see. Take that down. Okay. Do you have any questions before I say bye-bye? I'm glad you really like them. Something I didn't do today, which I was going to do, but we ran out of time, was roughing up the edges of your paper with your scissors. Maybe we'll do that another time. So there are other things that you can do certainly to add texture. I've only showed you a couple of ways to get texture today, but mostly focusing on the kit so that you can see how well it does that texture-y job. I think it's fantastic, and I can see lots of beautiful creations coming up with this one. See you Friday night. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have a moment. Hit that subscribe button so I can find it easier to find more people, and we'll have other beautiful people join our fantastic group of crafters here. Thank you guys for your company today. Happy shopping and happy enjoying the new catalog as well. I hope that you find everything that you're wanting and that you love all the things that you are going to create. Bye, guys. See ya.